Meeting. Today is Tuesday, June 17th, 2025, and it's 7 p.m. Regular meetings are generally held on the first and third Tuesday of each month in City Council chambers here at City Hall. City Clerk Assistant, please call the roll.
Yes, Mayor, thank you. Councilmember Winstead,
Present.
Councilmember Otto,
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Johns,
Here.
Mayor Genoway.
Here.
Thank you. We have a quorum. Please let the record reflect that Councilmember Jennings is absent.
Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite Pastor Jim Seisler of Laguna Niguel Presbyterian Church to provide this evening's invocation, followed by Boy Scout Troop 774 to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. All rise.
Please join with me in prayer. Loving God, first we say thank you. Thank you for your many and abundant blessings. Thank you for life itself, for the measure of health we need to fulfill our callings, for sustenance and for friendship. Thank you for the ability to be involved in useful work and for the honor of bearing appropriate responsibilities. Thank you as well for the freedom to embrace you or the freedom to reject you. Thank you for your loving us even so, from your boundless and gracious nature. In the scriptures, you have said that citizens ought to obey the governing authorities, since you have established those very authorities to promote peace and order and justice. Therefore, I pray for those called in leadership in our town, for the various levels of city officials, and for this assembled council. I am asking that you would graciously grant to them wisdom to govern amid the conflicting interests and issues of our times, a sense of the welfare and true needs of our congregation, a keen thirst for justice and rightness, confidence in what is good and fitting, the ability to work together in harmony even when there is honest disagreement, personal peace in their lives, and joy in their calling as servant leaders. I pray for the agenda set before them this evening. Please grant to them an assurance of what would please you and what would benefit those who live and work in and around our beloved city of Laguna Niguel. It is in your most blessed name that we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. And now, Troop 774.
Color guard, attention. Audience, please rise. Those in uniform, salute. Those not in uniform, place your right hand over your heart. Color guard, advance. Color guard, halt. Color guard, present the colors. Color guard, honor the colors. Please recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2.
Great job, everybody. We're going to join you down in the well in just a moment. All right, great job, Scouts. Let's give them a round of applause. Thank you for being here. In fact, we can move a little bit closer to each other. There we go. One a little bit closer. Now, if you could please tell us your name, what grade you're in, or what grade you're going into, and your favorite part about scouting.
I'm Addison Gia. I'm in 8th grade. I'm going to that grade. My favorite part about scouting is the merit badges and my education with them. Yeah.
My name is Matthew Mantuca. I'm going to be a freshman, and my favorite part of scouting is learning new skills and being able to meet new peoples with the activities we do.
My name is Grant. I'm going into 7th grade. I'm 12 years old, and my favorite part about scouting is chess.
My name is Myra Dixit, and I'm going into 8th grade, and my favorite part of scouting is the camping trips and getting to go outside more.
My name is Samaya Sarani. I'm going into 6th grade, and my favorite part about scouting is meeting all the different people.
My name is Jyotiraditya Bhagwat. I'm an incoming freshman, and my favorite part of scouting is just like the adventures that we do and the life skills that we learn.
My name is Adira Karki. I'm going to be a freshman, and my favorite part of scouting is like learning leadership skills.
My name's Ananya. I'm going into 8th grade, and my favorite part about scouting is how everyone's just so nice and you get to do a bunch of activities.
My name is Arnav Ginani. I'm going into the 11th grade, and my favorite part about scouting is completing the ranks.
My name is Will Ramser. I'm a sophomore, and my favorite part about scouting is attending the high adventure camps.
My name is Taryn Potter. I'm going into 6th grade, and my favorite part about scouting is learning all the different life skills.
And do we have any leaders in the room with us? Scout leaders? Come on down, introduce yourself as well. I won't ask you to tell us your grade.
Grade is pretty old. My favorite part, Skia. My favorite part is just leading this group.
All right, well, thank you very much for being a leader in the Scouts. Let's get a photograph. All right, come on in, let's get closer. Grant, you can stand next to your mom if you want.
We should also do your name, what grade you're going into, and your favorite part about scouting because you're an Eagle Scout.
Good job. All right, Matthew, are you going to dismiss the color guard?
Goop. Color guard dismissed.
Thanks once again, Scouts. All right, we will now move into public comments. Any person wishing to address the City Council is respectfully asked to complete and present a gold-colored request to speak form. These forms are available on the counter that is located near the entry door of council chambers. Please be aware that the time limit will be 3 minutes for each person to speak. This is a time for members of the public to share comments with the City Council. The Brown Act does not allow City Council to respond to the speakers at the meeting. However, City staff will follow up and respond to questions or provide the needed information. Speakers will be called in order from the request to speak forms, and to allow equal time for speakers, minutes may not be given to another speaker. You may have another person read your written statement. City Clerk Assistant, I have a stack of about 5 or 6 forms. Are there any others?
No, Mayor.
Okay. So I'll call these in the order, and I noticed that a few of these are pertaining to the same subject matter regarding a hotel. And so at this moment, I'll turn it over to Community Development Director Orduña. If you could shed some light and provide us some accurate information on that.
Absolutely. And thank you, Mayor Genoway, and good evening, council members. It has come to staff's attention that there's been an unfortunate rumor circulating in the community that there is a 500-unit hotel proposed on the property located at the corner of Crown Valley Parkway and Pacific Island Drive. And our assumption is that the commenters tonight will be speaking on that subject. And just to be clear for the public, any members of the public concerned about future development of that property, the existing general plan designates the site, the area specifically along the ridge of the site, for residential development, with the lower portions of the property, the steeper slopes, designated as open space. And as part of the draft general plan update that the city is currently working on, the land use designation for that site is not proposed to change. So both the steeper slopes that are designated as open space and the top of the ridge that is designated for residential development, those designations will remain in place. I believe where the confusion stems for the community is that as part of the city's significant community engagement, the public had asked that the city consider sites that would be potentially economically viable for a higher-end hotel. And so there was a study that was conducted that resulted in 2 such properties in the city that would demonstrate the panoramic ocean views that would make a project like that potentially economically viable. But that does not change the land use designation. So in terms of the future of the property, there are no projects proposed at this time. There are no developers that have come forward. There are no applications in process. And there is no action on the part of the city to change the land use designation. So if that is news to you, hopefully that is good news. And if you would like to discuss the matter further, I would be happy to stay after the meeting and talk to any members of the public. And hopefully that helps straighten out some of the rumors that are circulating in the community.
Thank you very much, Mr. Orduña. All right, I'm going to begin calling names. You get 3 minutes to speak. So the first speaker will be Laura Blinn Katz, followed by Christopher Mondragon.
Go ahead and speak on what I wrote today. Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Genoway and Laguna Niguel City Council members. My name is Laura, and I currently live at the top of Pacific Island Drive in Villa Pacifica. I moved to Laguna Niguel in 1975 with my mother 50 years ago. And when we moved to Niguel Shores, when it was still Laguna Niguel controlled, that's what what it was called. There was Crown Valley Parkway was rolling green hills when I was in 5th grade and we moved here. So lots of open space. In 1989, there was a land dispute between Dana Point and Laguna Niguel. We all know how that ended, and that area ended up being part of Dana Point. Laguna Niguel did dispute that and say that the Laguna Niguel residents as a whole did not have the opportunity to vote on that land use dispute, and that's why it ended up going to Dana Point. And that was their appeal process. Fast forward to 2025, the Laguna Niguel City Council is proposing even more of our open area space. And this, what I'm about to say, actually is written in your website. It says the open area spaces are opportunity spaces without the residents being able to vote on it. In the general plan, it states that the opportunity spaces are targeted for considerable growth. In your 20-year plan, it states that the main general plan is to preserve and protect our open spaces, conservation of natural resources in the area. This proposed hotel, whether it happens or not, is in direct conflict to the first 2 words of preserve and protect our open spaces in Laguna Niguel. I have several concerns about this project if it does go forward at some point. That would be traffic, water usage, noise, increased population crime, harm to the wildlife. My biggest concern being the environmental impact that it would have. There is a significant water spring on that property, and if you start to move things around, it could cause slope failure. Removing any trees and plants and excavation could be a problem. The wildlife in that area is enormous. Everything from endangered black and yellow California tiger salamander in that area, which I have found in my yard before, and is protected under federal and state law, that salamander. There's also large families of coyotes up there that keep the bunny population in check. And I fear that the city council is going to at some point rezone that area. In the 1992 general plan, it does state that that is open space with 2 small areas that are yellow for residential, low-density residential. So in conclusion, I just hope that you will not rezone that space for at any time. And thank you.
Thank you for coming down and speaking on that topic. Christopher Mondragon, I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your last name, and after him will be Susan Vasquez.
Thank you, General Counsel. I'm Christopher Mondragon. I'm part of the Niguel West neighborhood. I moved there about 21 years ago. I thank you for your clarification on what was happening. I think what's caused the biggest concern is a few people got a email designating the planning. One of the last pages showed what they called a hospitality overlay. And I think that's the problem that caused confusion. If it is really residential, why is there an overlay laid out on that corner? So I think we're just looking for clarification why that even exists if it's never planned on being rezoned. Why would you designate that area as a hospitality overlay? So my only question is to the council and the city of Laguna Niguel to please clarify that letter that was only sent out to a few people in our neighborhood and not everyone else. Plus there was another meeting where they're doing environmental studies. We saw drilling up at the top of the hill in the last probably 6 months. So we see activity happening on the hill, and it's just very confusing to hear that nothing's happening, but yet we see activity happening. So we just want clarification. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and I think we will definitely work to clarify that as we move through the general plan update process, which is going to be coming to this council in the next few months and definitely in the fall. And so we will work to clarify those issues for you. All right, the next speaker is Susan Vasquez, followed by Craig Carmel. Sorry, I think that's a C, Carmel. Okay, great.
Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak. My name is Susan Vasquez, and I've lived in Niguel West for 31 years. And I, like my neighbors, are confused about the overlay and the potential for development or any rezoning of that fragile area. In your 1992 general plan, on page 10, there's some designations of landslide markings. And if you're planning to go 20 years ahead, that land has not changed or evolved. We have. I know the city is interested in tax revenue. I know the property owner would like to develop it somehow, but that will be impacting my neighborhood, my quality of life, and I implore you not to rezone it or develop that area. And I seek further written clarification about the general plan and what you propose. There's significant traffic, if you noticed, in the area just from the repavement of Crown Valley and Pacific Island. We have a lot of bicyclists, e-bikes. If you propose any additional development, that will impact that area significantly with traffic, and that's an accident waiting to happen. I just want to implore all of you to protect your existing residents from potential harm, and I understand the need for revenue, but it is to protect your current constituents, and thank you for your time.
Thank you for being here. All right, Craig Carmel, and followed by Thomas Taylor.
Thank you, Council, Mayor. I'm going to reiterate a little bit, but I'll try to go through that quickly. I've lived in Laguna Niguel, my family and I, for 60 years in Niguel West. I know a little bit about the geology, actually a lot about the geology of that hill in question. And we're talking about the hill between Pacific Island and Crown Valley Parkway, of course. That hill is full of water. And the reason I know that is because I see my neighbors fixing their homes all the time. And I have over 60 years. And I studied geology at San Diego State. I didn't pursue that, but physical geology, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to see what's happening with that hill. It's full of landslides, 7 that we can see with a topographical map. And there must be many ancient ones. And it's all because of water. Heavy, deep water comes from Saddleback. It's underground. And it comes out in those hills. That water has made Crown Valley Parkway, and it made Pacific Island Drive over hundreds or thousands of years. That's just the way nature is. It's not going to stop with a couple of 6-foot retaining walls. So, yeah, I'm reiterating, but because I'm firsthand on that hill, I know a lot about it. All my neighbors, especially after a rain, all have their garage doors up because water comes right through their garage and right onto the street. They're on the west side of National Park Drive. I'm on the other side, and I don't have that. But that hill is alive. It's moving. There's cracks that go from all the way across the street, both sidewalks, through my neighbor's driveway, through my driveway. Any disturbance on the top of that hill, especially the removal of the natural foliage, would just be disastrous. One home would result in a lot of clearing, I'm sure. And that would be disastrous for Niguel West, not to mention the people up on Flying Cloud. So, okay, well, we've talked about that, and I just had to throw my 2 cents worth in because I've watched it.
That's your 3 minutes. Yeah, sorry, Craig, but thank you so much for coming down here and expressing those sentiments. The next speaker is Thomas Taylor.
City Council members, hi. I'm Thomas Taylor. I live on Grand Canyon, which is in Niguel West. I think the people that have come today from the tract, and also many that I've talked to that weren't able to come, there's a lot of confusion. And I've been a resident for 4 decades. And back in the days of community council, and then after we became a city, it seemed like there was really good communication between the city and the residents. And we've seen that erode over the years. And now we're at this point where there's planning meetings for the general plan, and there's been meetings specifically with All Rise, which is the owner of the property, and the city, and we're just completely clueless what's going on. And so in the information on the general plan, it says that in phase 2, the intention is the selected consultant will collaborate with city staff and the existing project team to complete all deliverables outlined in the RFP scope of work. But that doesn't include the staff, include the residents. And so I'd like to propose is that whenever there's a meeting with All Rise, or wherever there's consultation over what's going on with Area O, that we have members of we have residents from Nagel West and Pacific Island Village, Lynx Point, whoever, that can attend to observe what's going on and what's being said. And this way, it's a very open process. And we can avoid what we have here tonight, where they're talking about, I don't know who said 500-room hotels, but it came from somewhere, and that stirred everything up. So I think that we could handle on our end how we would go about organizing, having those people attend. But I would like to know everything that All Rise is discussing. I'd like for us to be CC'd, because they have a plan. They're a capital firm. They want to make money off this, and they're not going to settle for the 2 homes. So I would like for there to be better liaison between the city and us. Thank you.
Thank you very much for your comments. And our final speaker is Eddie Rose.
City Council members and fellow citizens of Laguna Niguel. For those of you who may not know me, I served on the Laguna Niguel City Council from 1994 to 1998. It's been 27 years, and since I just turned 87 a couple of months ago, I don't think I may wait another 27 years to come back. But in any event, the reason I'm here is to declare my unconditional support for law enforcement, both federal and local. I think we've all seen what has happened over the last few days with all of the attacks on ICE and the rest of federal and local law enforcement. I'm not going to get into those who are supporting or funding those, because I think Senator Josh Hawley is investigating that right now. But what I wanted to do is just introduce a resolution, and I'm going to give a copy to the city clerk at the conclusion of my remarks, and I would hopefully the City Council would consider adoption of this or a similar resolution. In any event, and excuse me if even though I wrote every single word of this, I had cataract surgery a couple of years ago, so I still need some help reading. Anyway, here it is. Whereas over the last 4 years, millions of individuals have entered the United States illegally as a result of our intentionally open southern border. And whereas individuals who enter our country illegally are by definition criminal illegal aliens and not just, quote, migrants, end quote, or, quote, undocumented immigrants, end quote, as the media likes to call them. And whereas many of these criminal illegal aliens have committed violent crimes in the United States, including murder, rape, human and drug smuggling, and even acts of terrorism. And whereas Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem and Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, not only have the right, but also have the duty to arrest and deport criminal illegal aliens and protect the American people. And whereas those who obstruct, protect, or otherwise hinder the lawful arrest of these criminal illegal aliens, including certain elected officials and even federal judges, are themselves in violation of federal law. And I have a copy of Title 8, U.S. Code 1324 for anyone who would like to confirm that.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me.
ICE agents,
Mr. Rose, please stop speaking for just one moment. Sir, will you please have a seat? This is public comment where members of the public, this is public comment where any member of the public can speak on a topic of their choosing, and they are allowed 3 minutes to do so, even if you disagree with them. And so Mr. Rose has 15 seconds left in his 3 minutes.
Thank you,
proceed.
Mr. Mayor. And whereas ICE agents have been attacked both verbally and physically simply for doing their job to protect the American people, be it resolved that the City of Laguna Niguel fully supports the efforts of the Department of...
All right, your 3 minutes are up, Mr. Rose. Mr. Rose, your 3 minutes are up. Mr. Rose? Mr. Rose, I'm going to ask you to stop speaking. Your 3 minutes are up, and we have to keep it to 3 minutes. You were, and then we stopped the timer when I asked the timer to be stopped so that I could ask the audience members to please respect your 3 minutes. Your 3 minutes are now up. Thank you, sir. And ladies and gentlemen, occasionally there may be instances where people come to this podium and speak on topics that are uncomfortable, but under the laws of this state and under the First Amendment, they are allowed 3 minutes to do so, and we have to respect every member of the public to come here and say what they'd like to say for 3 minutes. So I appreciate the audience members being passionate about these topics. I understand that the passions run deep and the issues are important, but we do have to respect each other's freedom to speak in the allotted time that we give every member of the public at each of these meetings. And that concludes all of our public comments. I do just want to say one thing with regard to all of the individuals who came to speak about the general plan, the zoning overlay. Thank you for bringing this apparent confusion to our attention. That's good feedback for us to do a better job of communicating with you and letting you know what's going on with the general plan. And we're going to have quite a few meetings in the next few months about the general plan update. It's going to cover a lot of stuff throughout the city, a lot of really good stuff. And I think at the end, you'll actually be quite impressed with the result. And we'll have a deliberation on this dais about it, and we'll have votes. And so I'm sure we'll be hearing from you again, and we'll have more information to put out and be in communication with you. And if you ever have a question about what's happening in our city, you can just go on our website. There's phone numbers and emails for each of our departments, including community development, building safety, planning, zoning. If you ever have a question, you can reach out to those individual departments, or you can reach out to myself or any other council member, and we'll get an answer for you. So thank you so much for coming. And with that, public comment is now closed. We will move on to our consent calendar. Are there any items to be pulled from the consent calendar? Seeing none, is there a motion? Moved by Mayor Pro Tem John, seconded by Councilmember Otto. Members, please vote. The motion carries 4-0 with one absence. Thank you. We have no discussion items tonight. We will now move on to City Council, City Manager, and Department reports, and we will begin with Councilmember Winstead.
All right, thank you, Mr. Mayor. Okay, I just wanted to share that last week your mayor and council members and some of the staff attended a ACOC event. It was the Golden Hub of Innovation, where cities and officials and city managers and staff were honored for being innovative and things that they did for the betterment of the people. What I really appreciated about that was that the president of the Cal State Fullerton, he was the featured speaker, and he had said something that really touched me, and it was good enough for government work. And when you hear the saying good enough for government work, this is from him, it didn't come from me, but I confirmed that it's true. It actually originates, these days people think good enough for government work means, well, okay, it's passable. It's just, you know, average, or maybe it'll just marginally pass. But it actually originates from World War II, when good enough for government work actually meant that it's really high standards and that it would pass and it would be suitable for our soldiers to have in war, and it'll defend them. So when I think about that, and I think about our city, and I think about excellence, I just wanted to share that the people expect excellence from us. And I think that's because that's who you expect, that's what you expect of yourselves. And that's what you expect of your neighbors. That's what you expect of your council members. That's what we expect of the staff and of the city manager. That's what we expect of each other. We expect excellence out of each other. You know, I expect it out of myself, my kiddo, who's sitting there in the audience. I talked to him about, you know, did you meow today? And meow, what's that stand for? It's not some silly thing that comes from Super Troopers, like this little game. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Google it. It's quite funny. But I will ask him, did you meow today? Meow stands for maximum effort, outstanding work. Well, did you do that? And that's what I expect in my home. That's what I expect of my colleagues. And that's what you expect of us. I just wanted to share that I'm very proud that your staff delivers that. Your staff really, the staff of the city really does strive for excellence. And so do your council members, so does your city manager. We're all there for you. It's not just mediocre work, it's excellent service. And just I think about that because of the minutes of the last meeting and how the community members, they were very concerned about weed abatement and fire and so forth. And council listened, and Councilmember Otto suggested, hey, why don't we do an extra study or look to see if there's a way we can go a little bit further, not just meet the bare minimum. And Mayor and my council member colleagues, we agreed. We said, you know what? Yeah, let's see if there's something we can do to go above the bare minimum. So I just wanted to say that I'm thankful to be here to represent you. I'm thankful that all of us stand for excellence, and kind of the proof is in there. And you can look at the record. It's there, and it's beyond the bare minimum. So I'm going to end with that. So thank you.
All right. Thank you for meowing today. All right. Councilmember Otto.
Okay. Just briefly, I want to thank you, Councilmember Winstead, for that. I appreciate your comments very much. But I want to congratulate all our recent high school and college graduates. I had the honor of attending Dana Hills High School graduation, and I'd like to read a portion of the graduation speech that Steve Jobs delivered to Stanford about 20 years ago. So this is what he said. Your time is limited, so don't waste it living someone else's life. Don't be trapped by dogma, which is living the results of other people's thinking. Don't let the noise of other opinions drown out your own inner voice. And most important, have the courage to follow your heart and intuition. They somehow already know what you truly want to become. Everything else is secondary. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you. Mayor Pro Tem Johns.
Thank you. Tough to follow those two. I want to thank everybody for coming tonight and showing your passion. We have residents that are truly involved and concerned with their neighborhoods, as are all of us. So we truly appreciate all the words that were spoken today, and we appreciate you being here. I too attended the graduation, so we had another very big group of graduates between Dana Hills High School and Aliso Hills High School. I always screw that up. No, Niguel. I always screw that one up. Lisa Niguel High School. I went to the Dana Hills High School graduation, and it was great to see these young adults excited about getting out there and starting their lives. So it was refreshing and a good time to see. I also, when you were talking about the Golden Hubs, we talked about it at our last city council meeting. What some of you don't know is that our city manager was nominated for the Manager of the Year. And in my humble opinion, I think she earned that one and should have received that award, as was Jackie Scott, our Public Works Director. So that shows you how hard our city staff and directors and our city manager work for this city. We don't take things lightly. We work very hard. We're trying to do what's best for the city. It isn't always agreed upon. And sometimes there's confusion on what's truly taking place and what isn't. So again, I want to thank our city staff for what they do for us every single day. And on a lighter note, I will be attending the 4th of July 5K run at the YMCA. I know the mayor is also going to be running in that. My granddaughter, who's nationally ranked as a very long distance runner, she does cross country as well as the 3,000 meters. She's actually participating right now up in Oregon at the Nike Nationals. She's going to be there too, and I've got a bet with her that I have to be within a half a mile of her when we finish that race. Hopefully I can do that. But I ask all of you to maybe show up and be part of that. Also with that is the Chamber Pancake Breakfast that day. And then that evening, we have the concert right there at the Crown Valley Community Center. And after that, we have the celebration of our drones this year with the live band for that as well. So I ask you all to come out and join us for that. It's a great celebration. It is our Independence Day, and it's a great way to spend that day. You can spend the entire day right here with your city and celebrating our independence. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. That's right, I am running in the Laguna Niguel 4th of July 5K, and I encourage everybody to run in that race this year, and I guarantee if you run, I personally guarantee you will not be in last place. In fact, I think it's a pretty good gig for me as the mayor because it gives me a chance to say hey to everybody as they're running past me. But that's always a very fun event early in the morning, a great way to kick off the 4th of July activities with a pancake breakfast put on by the Laguna Niguel Chamber of Commerce. Then we've got a swim day at the pool. We've got concerts at night at the Laguna Niguel or the Crown Valley Amphitheater, followed by our drone show spectacular this year, which is going to be amazing. And so I can't wait for 4th of July. Always one of my favorite days of the year here in Laguna Niguel. And like everybody else said, this was high school graduation time. What a wonderful time of year. I attended my alma mater, Aliso Niguel High School, the graduation there, where it was Dr. Mahindra Kaur's first graduation at Aliso Niguel High School. He and I actually both went to that school. He was the ASB president when I was a sophomore coming on to ASB as the Commissioner of Video Technology. I was really cool in high school in that role. But just always a great time going back and visiting the old stomping grounds and seeing all the joy in the kids' faces as they're beginning a new chapter in their lives. Closing one chapter, beginning a new one. What a great time to be alive. And so I want to thank everybody for coming out to our meeting tonight. We had a little bit more of a lively meeting than usual, but that's okay. That's why we're here, is to address the issues of the public square and to help our residents gain clarity and so that we can continue to moving this city forward. City Manager Letourneau.
Yes, our first report this evening is from Chief Flores.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor Janaway, City Council, city staff, and members of the Laguna Niguel community. Tonight, I'll be presenting the Laguna Niguel Police Services Spring Quarter Report. To start, I'd like to recognize Deputy Scott Cow. Each year, the Orange County Auto Theft Advisory Committee recognizes officers and deputies throughout Orange County who recover the most stolen vehicles for their respective agencies. Congratulations to Deputy Cow for being honored as Laguna Niguel Police Services Vehicle Theft Officer of the Year for 2024. And earlier this quarter, Deputies Scott Cowell, Luis Tobar, and Jeffrey Wilson received the 2024 Mothers Against Drunk Driving Award. Collectively, they apprehended and removed a total of 156 DUI drivers from the roadways of Laguna Niguel. Deputy Cowell received a Special Century Award and was responsible for 100 of those arrests. Deputy Cowell was one of 4 law enforcement officers in the entire county that made 100 DUI arrests or more. We commend each deputy for their hard work and dedication to the safety of Laguna Niguel community. Their efforts undoubtedly saved lives and prevented injuries. I also want to recognize our 2025 Laguna Niguel Police Services Citizens Academy graduates. Over the course of 11 weeks, Academy participants worked with both sworn and professional Orange County Sheriff's personnel across various disciplines and positions of expertise. The goal of this program is to give community members an insider's look at Orange County Sheriff's Department and cultivate a deeper understanding and appreciation for the realities and challenges of today's law enforcement that they face on a daily basis. This year's class was comprised of some amazing people from the community, and I commend them for their eagerness to learn and their dedication to the program. So once again, congratulations to Laguna Niguel Police Services, class number 27. And now for some social media engagement highlights. We continue to engage the public through our Instagram, Facebook, and X social media platforms. Police Services made a great post about National Bicycle Safety Month, which generated 2,400 views on Instagram. National Bicycle Safety Month is observed throughout the month of May and is dedicated to promoting bicycle safety and awareness and education for both cyclists and drivers. And lastly, we created a reminder post about the Text to 911 service for all of Orange County that was viewed over 3,000 times on our social media platforms. The Text to 911 service was designed specifically for those who are hearing impaired, speech disabled, or in dangerous situations where calling 911 is not possible. To use the service, people should enter 911 in the destination field of their texting platform, followed by their location and a brief description of their emergency. As a reminder, messages should be sent in plain language, and please do not use acronyms, short code messages, or emojis. In April, Laguna Niguel Police Services partnered with the Drug Enforcement Administration to conduct prescription drug collection from those looking to responsibly dispose of unwanted or unused medication. This year, Laguna Niguel disposed of approximately 160 pounds of medication. In the month of May, selected staff from various parts of the Orange County Sheriff's Department attended both the 2025 California Peace Officers Memorial and National Peace Officers Memorial. These annual events bring law enforcement agencies together to pay tribute to the brave men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice while serving and protecting their communities. Their courage, commitment, and sacrifice will never be forgotten. Deputy Candace Griffin represented Laguna Niguel Police Services in Washington, D.C., and Deputy Philp represented us in Sacramento. Every year, the Orange County Sheriff's Department running team participates in Baker to Vegas. Baker to Vegas is an annual relay race that is one of the most prestigious and challenging law enforcement events in the United States. This year, Laguna Niguel Police Services' Angie Vargas and Joey Duran represented us. Last but not least, Laguna Niguel Police Services and the Orange County Sheriff's Department as a whole once again participated in the Special Olympics Torch Run to kick off the 2025 Special Olympics. Thank you to all those who participated, and congratulations to all the amazing athletes who are competing this year. In closing with some public education and school safety highlights. This quarter, Police Services was delighted to participate in the following events: the John Malcolm Elementary Career Day, the Laguna Niguel Elementary Carnival, the Marion Bergeson Elementary Carnival, the Hidden Hills Elementary Carnival, and Laguna Niguel Realtor Education. Police Services is honored to attend or present at such events, or at events such as these. We feel privileged to be a part of the Laguna Niguel community, and as always, we're dedicated to keeping it safe as possible. Thank you, and this concludes my presentation for the evening.
Thank you, Chief Flores. Our next report tonight is from Parks and Recreation Director Jonathan Harmon.
Thank you, City Manager Letourneau. Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of the City Council. Thank you for your kind words and excellent promotion of the 4th of July activities. It's going to be an amazing day. But before that, we do have our second stop of the Summer Concert Series happening this Friday, June 20th at the Crown Valley Park Amphitheater. The Funky Hippies will be playing on stage, playing hits from every era. So it'll be definitely a good time and something we can all dance to and have fun with. The shuttle service will be available as usual, starting here at 5:30 p.m. from City Hall and running to the park until 9:30 p.m. Food and dessert will be available for purchase starting at 6 p.m. And we are certainly excited for the second stop of the concert series and hope to see all of you there. This concludes my report.
That's all our reports this evening.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everybody. This meeting is adjourned at 7:49.